Welcome to Florida Mint on Florida Man with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron, the podcast where Floridians discuss the crazy but true stories that always seem to take place in Florida. In the Sunshine State. Here we are. Once again, we are back as best friends. Last week we were fighting.
Feeling good this time.
Feeling better this week.
Yeah. Feeling good.
Glad you guys apologized for what you did to me.
We apologized to Cameron. Josh apologized.
What did we do to him? Because we wrestled him to the ground.
Yes, and we did.
Took off his belt and spanked him with it.
Yep.
Okay, so what? Write a book about it.
Yeah.
I am.
Write Dear Abby or whoever her name is.
Yeah, because we don't care anymore.
We don't care. We stopped responding.
Everyone was saying that we do nothing but bully Greg on the show, and so we decided to pivot and just take it month by month. This month we're bullying Cameron.
Yeah.
Next month we're going to bully
August.
Josh.
Welcome to August.
Yeah.
I got one more day.
One more day, and then we're going to bully Josh, and then we're going to bully Greg again. So feels good.
No, it's August is your month. Bro.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to it.
Oh,
I'm just starting to your nightmare.
Oh no.
Well, I feel like we need to bully you into some headlines.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Let's get bullied.
All right. Let's get bullied.
Florida man who goes by the name The Rooster.
Come on.
Oh, the Rooster.
The Rooster.
Nice. He must be a radio host, I assume.
Commits burglary by horseback, but loses horse and gets caught.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Commits burglary by horseback, loses horse.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
Lonnie
Nice.
Maddox.
I like this.
Lonnie, 52 years old, was riding Angel, a brown horse.
Okay.
Aww.
And they were riding up to a house in Newport Richey. The house.
With the intent to rob it?
Yes.
He
was
there was
riding
a rooster
horse
involved in this.
The man's name is the Rooster. Lonnie's name is the Rooster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oof. I'm having flashbacks to last week.
So I'll just call him the Rooster from now on.
Thank you.
The Rooster. This is weird. The Rooster riding the horse rode up to this house, broke in through the back door.
Okay.
Caused $100 worth of damage. The problem was that the house had a security camera, and the person that owned the house was watching him do this.
Okay, so this wasn't like an old town saloon or something where everybody was.
This is very recent.
This is
anti-technology.
This is on a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Oh God, jeez.
So while the Rooster is in the house,
Okay,
doing his burglary thing,
yes.
Right.
I picture him
Angel-
without a shirt for some reason.
I mean that's probably a pretty good way to picture him. Angel the horse wandered
Okay.
away.
As they do.
He casually walked away while the Rooster was in the house burglarizing. Well, the homeowner called the police because he saw that the guy was in his house.
The cowboy.
The Rooster.
Hold on, is Angel circling the house and he's going to break in the front?
It could
to
be.
distract
It could
the
be.
homeowner.
So the officers get there. They find the Rooster.
Okay.
And he's walking up and down the street looking for Angel, the horse.
Okay. Angel's the horse.
Yes.
Rooster's the man. Okay.
Yes.
And so when officers get up to the Rooster,
Officers are the people.
yes,
Okay.
the Rooster is more concerned
Okay.
about the fact that he lost his horse rather than the fact that he just got caught for burglary.
Rooster the man
Yes.
is worried about losing the horse.
Yeah. So he comes out of the house going, listen, I know I'm in trouble for robbing the house.
Yeah.
But I can't find my horse
I
anywhere.
can't find the horse.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Officer,
this
don't-
all is happening, by the way, on like the most Florida street ever.
God,
This
if it's
is-
a name of something, I can't handle
This
anymore.
is Key Lime Drive.
Oh,
Yeah.
good God. It's a noun, another
course it is.
noun.
So anyways, they found the horse
Don't say
about
another
2 miles
noun.
away. Oh, sorry. They found the horse on Key Lime Drive.
Okay.
That's where the horse was.
Oof.
Well, anyways, Angel the horse actually did not belong to the Rooster.
He stole the
Okay.
horse?
He also stole the horse before going to steal inside this house.
Okay. Well, I think like before you commit like a bank robbery,
Right.
people do steal like a van.
Yeah,
Sure.
a getaway car.
Right.
He just
So-
happened to steal a getaway horse.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
makes sense.
Who,
There's, no,
the horse actually got away on its own. But
there's no VIN number or anything to
No.
trace.
Yeah.
So it's smart initially.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't track him down.
Which if the Rooster, the next obviously step which in robbery, you learn like, okay, well, the horse walks away. So that's the problem with the horse. So he would have graduated in robbery 101 class
To a bicycle.
Right. Bicycle can't ride away.
Right, no.
He would have learned that if he would have just stayed in class.
Yep. I think he skipped that day.
He did.
So can I just recap real fast and make sure I understand? A man named Rooster
Yes.
stole a horse named Angel.
Yes.
I feel like I need like a felt board
Yeah.
with cutouts.
Yeah, Greg's got one. Look at Greg.
Okay.
All right. A man named Rooster steals a horse named Angel.
Yeah.
He rides to a street,
Yes.
robs the house.
Yes.
The horse named
What?
Angel walks away.
I need
Yes.
the dots of the circle of life.
Yeah.
Thing. Dot, 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 dot.
The horse walks away down to Key Lime Drive.
To Key Lime Drive.
Okay.
The man named Rooster walks outside where
Yeah.
the police are waiting for
Yes.
him.
Yes.
He says, I just robbed this house, but now I can't find my horse.
But it's not my
It's
horse.
not even his horse.
And it's not my horse.
Nope.
I like that
You
story.
got it. That was
I
it.
love that story.
Wow.
It's great.
Yeah. So the rooster was arrested on charges of burglary
Okay.
of a dwelling. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So what happened with Angel the horse? They find the owner.
I think they found that. owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Angel's safe.
Phew.
Safe
That's
and
all we
sound.
cared about was Angel.
Yeah.
Good God.
All right. Woo, that's a doozy.
For
Yeah.
real.
I feel good about it.
Too
though.
many characters.
Yeah.
If I'm the officer, I'm just like, everybody go home.
Yeah.
Too much.
Just stop.
Overloaded.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played the game Pokemon Go?
Yes.
Or do you know about the game Pokemon
When it
Go?
came out,
Okay.
I walked outside. I got the one that was outside my house.
Uh-huh.
I went back inside.
Yeah.
I think you won. You won the game.
Yeah.
All right. So if anybody listening has not heard of Pokemon Go or not sure what it is, basically it's a game that you play on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You can collect these Pokemon, but you have to walk around to find them. Basically, like there's like a GPS screen that shows up on your phone. Little Pokemon people will pop up. But there's also something where you have to defend certain areas.
You can tell
Right.
Cameron knows what he's talking about by calling them Pokemon people.
Yeah. You know, little Pokemon people walking around.
The pokes.
Yeah, the pokes. Yeah, right.
The
Okay.
pokes pop up.
The poke people.
Okay.
So like you can defend certain places,
Sure.
like a church or like City Hall somewhere would be
Okay.
what they call like a gym. Anyways,
Okay.
So you walk into City Hall. and
Yeah.
you go, give me your Pokemon people.
I'm here for the pokes.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
All right. So this guy, Jonathan Ortez, in North Tampa,
okay.
was playing Pokemon Go at 2:00 in the morning,
Hmm.
in Beacon Meadows Park.
Mhm.
Now, Beacon Meadows Park closed down officially at sunset.
Okay.
So he was there illegally, basically,
supposed to
but
be
he's
there.
playing Pokemon Go.
How do
Right.
they notify people that a park is closed?
I think the signs.
Oh,
Usually,
parks are open.
Josh has
Right.
never been to a park. He wouldn't.
I really haven't. I got my Pokemon people outside my house.
Right.
And
you
then I went back inside.
Yeah.
So a sheriff's deputy saw Ortez playing the game after hours. He basically went to say, "Why are you
After
out?
Hours.
After hours.
Why are you out here at this park so
You
late?"
can't collect sexy Pokemon people
No.
outside.
No. So this led to the officer noticing that Ortez was openly using marijuana.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on.
Now they went back to Ortez's vehicle, where the sheriff's deputy found 3.5 grams of cocaine,
Okay.
Whoa.
1 pound of marijuana.
How else are you going to stay alert and ready?
Yeah, it's for the
Catch
pokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get them pokes.
And 5.5 pounds of
Whoa.
THC oil.
Okay.
How do you, where do you, that seems like a lot of oil.
He's getting it in bulk.
I think that's a lot of everything. Yeah.
It
sounds
sounds like he was a seller.
At that
Yeah.
point, it sounds like it should be in gallons.
Yeah.
Catch a
right?
Pokemon,
Instead of
get
pounds?
half a gallon of
Of
oil.
THC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
THC oil.
THC
Yeah.
oils.
So anyways, he was arrested on these drug charges. Well,
Okay.
there's been a lot of other stories surrounding this Pokemon Go.
Right.
Okay. So in 2016, there were reports of armed robbers where they were using Pokemon Go to lure victims to certain places. There's another story where Marine Corps veterans chased down this guy that was attempting murder on somebody at one of these Pokemon Go stops.
What is happening?
Whoa.
Somebody playing Pokemon Go stumbled upon a dead body.
What?
Oof.
Just looking for pokes.
Yep.
Just looking for pokes. You
There's
found
been-
them, baby.
People, going back to the gym thing where, you have to basically battle at these gyms.
Right.
Well, there's been people that have
Battled real life.
battled real life. People were attacked with a tire iron. because somebody else was angry that they had taken the gym from them. There's been 50-year-old men that ended up getting restraining orders against each other because of Pokemon Go. There's just tons of these stories surrounding Pokemon Go.
Pokemon crimes.
Pokemon crimes. Pokecrimes.
Nobody showed up in my yard because I got my Pokemon people.
Yeah, but that's the state of the world we live in. That you can't even play it.
You can't play a game.
Yeah,
a children's game, really.
A children's game out in public without people getting violent and trying to poke folks, you know?
Yeah, with a tire iron.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just thought that was
hard-hitting facts here.
interesting.
I tell you what, the world we live in is so much meanness on this planet.
It really is.
So if you play Pokemon Go, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful. Yeah. Hit them with the relevant news.
And keep your gallons of THC in the trunk.
Yeah.
Like a normal person.
No, that's where he found it.
Oh.
Yeah, but just act like
Hide
that's
it
what your
better.
car runs on.
Put it in the passenger seat.
Exactly.
I got a VW bus. It runs on that ish.
Well, I feel hooked properly and a bit terrified. I'm going to drop out of the Poke tournament coming up because I don't want to get beat up.
I doubt you will, buddy. You're hooked, bro.
Thanks, bud. I am hooked, but I want to be broken.
I can do that. I will break that. Okay, boys, I got a letter in the mail.
Nice.
Yeah, it came with 2 postage.
Wow.
Yeah, they
Big
wanted
spenders.
they wanted to make sure it got here.
Richie Rich.
Wow.
They said if the podcast wasn't Florida Man related,
Okay.
what would it be? Signed, S. Claus.
Probably something way more successful.
Probably something.
Way better.
Yeah, we'd probably hate each other less if it
Yeah.
was about something different, wouldn't we?
North Pole.
Yeah.
says.
Let's talk about the North Pole.
No, it says S. Claus.
Oh,
North
okay.
Pole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Signed
Well,
S.
I
Claus.
thought we were going to do a
North Pole.
podcast about the North Pole.
No, thank you, S. Claus, for sending that in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the one thing that we all kind of have in common outside of male modeling, which is a sore subject,
Because we each show a different part of our body for the male modeling.
right.
Different
You being the hands,
Definitely.
Cameron
Thank
being
you.
the feet, and then me being the face and body.
Well,
Yeah. What?
That's like a 95-5 split there.
I'm not
Yeah.
all hands. I mean, I go up to the elbow.
Oh, you're all hands. Trust me. Trust me on that one. Try to watch a movie with this guy.
Guilty. Guilty.
No, but I think we all have a history in private school, don't
Yes.
we?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Which we talked about.
Yeah.
We talked about starting a podcast, and then we realized that Cameron just couldn't bring the meat.
Yeah.
And we would eventually run out of stories. But I
He's
think
not an Arby's type of boy.
No.
Josh and I attended private school. Cameron teaches at one, and so I think if we had to do another podcast, we'd have a little bit of material on the crazy stuff that happens at private school.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's really you guys. I mean, I teach at, it's a public school, but it's not fully we won't get into it. But
Yeah, you can tell because they really teach them how to pronounce the P's.
yeah.
It's a public school.
But it was really your idea because you guys went to school together.
Right.
So you guys had all these crazy stories, but then you realized, well, neither one of us have anything to record on. Let's call Cameron and see what.
Let's see if we can use the studio.
You told them that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, I think honestly, like some of the stuff that happened at private school, like people just wouldn't believe us. And
The looseness of the rules.
Right.
I think is
a lot of flexibility, I think, for children is
Yeah.
weird. And in our case, because we couldn't be trusted.
No.
And then we would tell people these stories individually, and they would say, "There's no way that's even remotely true." And then we'd have to bring Josh in, or Josh would bring me in to confirm, no, this actually happened.
Yeah. Fight clubs.
Josh, give us
Bathroom.
one good story.
Oh, they'll there's where would we even start? I'd say probably one of my best, which started a sport.
Right.
There's that odd year after senior year
Yeah, there is.
when in a small school you make friends with every year,
Right.
every grade level.
Mhm.
Right.
So after you graduate, you're like, okay, I have 2 friends in my current year. They went off to college.
Sure.
You're now in community college, but I had actually 8 friends that are now seniors.
Right.
let me go back and
Gotcha.
visit those
Okay.
friends.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My majority of my friends are seniors.
You're
Right.
trespassing.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
so now I am done with my community college class. I drive back on the property
Right.
of the school, which has no security.
Mm-hmm.
I find one lone friend out in the parking lot,
Yes.
and I say, "Hey, let's pull the mat out of my trunk.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tie it with a rope. You get on it, and I'll drive around the
The property.
the property and sling you around." And
Yes.
then here Wayne would take over the story.
I was sitting in the lunchroom, and in the backside where the seniors sat, you had these kind of windows where you could see out on the property, out in the grass. And I see Josh's Mitsubishi Galant.
Nice, thank you.
Circle around, Tokyo Drift style, with
Very
a child
popular.
tied to a
Child.
floor mat behind the car.
He was a cool child,
Like a ski rope.
and it was a trunk mat.
Yes, a trunk mat. And the principal looked over at me and said, "Is that Josh Mills?" And I go, it doesn't look like him. I don't know.
With almost all certainty.
Yeah. And then
It's
Josh
more of
who?
a statement than a question.
And then I go out there, and the next thing the principal sees is Josh driving and slinging me around on the mat because it was just so fun.
You can't. It was trunk. It was
Trunk or treat.
trunk
Yeah.
or treat.
Principal's like, I don't get paid enough to deal with this.
No.
No.
And so no, I think on future episodes, maybe in the icebreakers, we can discuss some more private school stories because
Yeah.
they are a lot
What
of
brought
fun.
us together.
Yeah, and they did bring us together, and then our outside of our senior year, it was like a year after that, Cameron was born. So
Yeah. I think it was after the grass sledding.
We
event.
welcome and that's where he was conceived actually. And there's a mural painted.
There you go. It's so true. But I feel hooked on headlines, and I feel ice broken.
But I need some stories.
Yeah, I feel cold as ice, and I've got a story for you guys. Ben Hill Griffin Jr. was born October 20th, 1910 in Fort Meade, Florida.
1910. I can do this
1910.
math real quick.
Okay.
Do it.
109.
Oh man, those private school days were good to him.
Yes,
He
they
knew.
were.
On the day that Ben was born, the great hurricane from Cuba was bearing down on Central Florida.
Oh, I don't think it
Wow.
started in Cuba.
Thanks, Cuba.
Yeah.
Well, it says actually this is before we had like the business of naming storms.
Mhm.
So this one was a Category 4, and it came from the other side of Cuba, so everybody called it the Great Hurricane from
Oh,
Cuba.
Cubano Diablo. they
Yes,
called it.
exactly. Very creative with names back then. And so if you're not familiar with the hurricane rating system, Hurricane 4 out of 5, so it's one of the best of the best. It's huge.
Yeah, it's a
I
massive.
good
think
one.
they call it best of the best.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
beauty.
like worst.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
You should
hurricane.
have seen it.
Everybody
it
loved it.
wrecked everything.
But these are the conditions in which Ben was born. Basically, his father said, "I always knew that boy was born for greatness because he came into the world extremely calm, even though the world outside was shaking violently."
Mm.
Oh, cool.
And
That's
so
beautiful.
The story
Yeah,
has it
sounds
that
awesome.
while the hurricane's tearing apart everything in the city, little Ben comes out and barely even cries. He's a happy baby.
Cool.
And so his dad was like, "Hey, this guy's gonna be peaceful." And a lot of people think that actually shaped Ben Griffin Jr.'s personality.
Mhm.
'Cause he
I
was-
don't think so.
He was known for his patience.
I don't know if that's true if you're born during a.
I don't think hurricanes are magical, so I agree with Josh. I
Thank
think
you.
that
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
It's
Is
wives'
someone to
tales.
just say hurricanes aren't magical.
they're not magical.
Thank you.
They're
But
majestic.
they
They're
are majestic. At the age of 5, Ben started working the fields in his father's citrus business,
Oh, okay.
As we all do.
as we all do.
Cam knows.
Cam
Cam
knows
did
all about that.
sprinklers.
I've been
He
there.
dug in that sand.
Yep.
He really did, and it was a very small company. But Ben learned the ways of the industry. His father was a smart man, and Ben kind of picked up on most of the tricks of the trade before he was even in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cam
he was
knows.
just kind of very well versed when it came to that kind of stuff. When he got to high school, he attended Frostproof High School.
Oh, wow. Right down the road.
Frostproof. Shout out Frostproof.
What's
the
up?
movie Identity with John Cusack.
I know.
I don't want to spoiler alert it.
Movie
but-
review coming up.
Cool. Yes, it is.
He was active in student government, just kind of popular overall, but he was an athletic kid. But the issue was in the 1920s, at that particular high school, there wasn't any sort of like sporting teams.
And he would always run in a spiral.
Just like the Hurricanes.
Just like
There goes Ben again.
spinning down the field.
So he was athletic,
But there was no sporting teams. Right.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so he took it upon himself to start the football program while he was a teenager.
I was
Wow.
thinking baton.
Little
Right. It's kind of incredible if you think about it, but it kind of shows the leadership and the personality he had as a teenager.
Yeah.
The student, he represented the student body, and the teachers were like, "If you want to start the program, you can." So he basically fundraised
Jeez.
and organized the whole thing, and then they had a team the following season. So
I mean, there's literally nothing else to do in Frostproof.
that could be it.
I mean,
Citrus
And
Yeah.
since the 1920s.
And-
So I mean,
And start your own football team.
and start
Sure.
your own-
Yeah.
or just not start your own football team.
And then you just
that
have
would be
citrus.
the other thing to do.
right, you
There
got
would
two
be
options.
not start your own football
It's not
team.
hard, Ben. So after high school, Ben went to the University of Florida where he studied economics and agriculture.
Okay.
And there he met his wife, Eleanor Francis.
Sounds
They got
beautiful.
married almost right away. And his junior year, though, however, the Great Depression happened.
You know what? I don't think people like in those times, they like come from an area and they go, I'm going to study something that's relevant to my area to make my area better. So
Right.
I'm going to study economics and agriculture. Like today we're like, art history?
Right, exactly. No, that's very true. People went to college to kind of come back and make a difference where they're from.
Yeah. Like not me.
Which is exactly kind of what he did.
computer graphics?
But because of the Great Depression, he couldn't finish school. He had to
Yeah.
find work.
Mhm.
So his
Depression.
junior year, he actually came back to Frostproof, he and his wife, and his father told him that they had a wedding gift waiting for him.
Mm.
He had something he
Okay.
wanted to give him.
But his dad was a prankster.
His dad was a prankster. No, but he said he'd been saving up he's been saving up Ben's whole life for this, and he wanted to give Ben and his wife a leg up in society. And so Ben's father purchased a 10-acre orange grove and basically said, like, you're a smart guy and a hard worker, and I know you're going to do well by this.
Oh.
Wow.
The gift
Dads
that
were
keeps-
really nice back then.
The gift that keeps giving.
Well, and what's fascinating is his father had a small business, citrus business. So this is separate from that. He saved up and purchased 10 acres
Wow.
for Ben. And he had taught Ben a lot of stuff, but most importantly, the one thing that stood out that he taught Ben was that planting orange trees on the southern slopes next to a large lake
Okay.
will prevent the trees from freezing if winter ever comes through.
I get it because the breeze off of the lake,
Right.
A little warmer.
warmer.
Well, the thing about
Cam
it is,
knows.
well, it's-
I don't want to step in
I'll
your
draw you a map.
territory. Thank you.
It's Florida, and so that feels like a useless fact, right? I mean, the freeze is going to come through, so you
Amen.
need to know how to plant your trees. And so basically, everybody else thought that same thing. In fact, when Ben started buying up orange groves near lakes or buying up property near lakes that no one else wanted, everyone called him crazy and said that he would soon be bankrupt.
Oh,
Ben
Okay.
was using the profits from his first 10 acres to buy land that other Floridians were basically giving away. Some of it was cheap as $2 an acre.
okay.
It was considered not farmable, just the way they were situated near the lakes and such.
Yep.
And so every piece of property that he purchased met those same guidelines that his father told him about.
Weird.
And so
Weird, bro.
in the 1930s,
That old wisdom, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
In the 1930s, the unthinkable happened. Florida experienced a crippling winter that froze nearly every citrus grove in the entire state, all except for the groves owned by Ben Griffin Jr.
Wow.
No way.
It was
But
like
you gotta
55
think,
degrees.
For every wise Ben Hill Griffin's dad,
Right.
there had to be so many old dumb
Yeah.
Ben Hill Griffin's dad.
Right.
Like my old dad told me on the north side.
Yeah.
Like only.
Never plant apple trees when the sun is up.
Yep.
Like-
only at night and in a snake's mouth.
Well, this basically made Ben's company like Ultimo Hombre. Like he's
Yeah.
like the last man standing.
He's the only one left.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it takes like years for a tree to start producing fruit.
Sure.
Like from when you plant it. So
You heard it from the old
You heard it from the
citrus
master.
listen, I'm a master. Okay.
mouth. Here we go. The master's mouth.
Ben, overnight, Ben basically became a powerhouse in the citrus industry.
Whoa.
Everybody else was
Shut him
frozen
down.
out. He's the last one standing. So 10 years later, in the 1940s, the citrus industry kind of shifted again dramatically because they had newer technologies. They had refrigerated rail cars and trucks, and they were becoming more affordable for smaller companies. And so businesses were switching kind of from fresh fruit to concentrate.
Okay.
And
Hate it.
Ben
You don't
Griffin,
like it?
Ben Griffin
Concentrate?
said,
Yeah.
he said no to concentrate.
Oh, really? Sucking of the water out? You don't like that?
He said that he's a very calm, patient person, like everyone always said about him.
But that fist is not.
No. He said that he was never going to switch to concentrate as of right now, and that he was going to focus on fresh fruit.
Okay.
And his patience paid off because in the same year, in 1941, a catastrophic freeze swept across California and a lot of like kind of the southern part of the United States, wiping out all of their groves, which basically meant that every other major supplier in the U.S. was turning to Florida for their fresh fruit. Basically, it means that every other supplier in the nation is looking to Ben Griffin now.
Yeah.
So he's not just the king in Florida.
People want their orange juice.
Right. He's basically the citrus king in the United States.
People want that OJ. Give me OJ now.
You've always said that.
I have said that.
In the 1950s, there was this major international citrus company called Minute Maid.
Okay.
And they kept attempting to buy Ben's company from him.
Okay.
So they would offer him ridiculous amounts of money.
Yep.
He would always say, no, I'm not going to do it, and reject it. And this strategy also paid off because in 1958, there was an antitrust lawsuit that broke up Minute Maid. They said they were a monopoly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And here was Ben with all these non-concentrated profits sweeping in to buy up some of the portions of Minute Maid. And so basically what we have now is like this citrus empire owned by, Ben Hill Griffin Jr., who's this really honest, patient, modest guy.
Yeah.
And his patience is what made him so rich.
Yep.
He's playing the long game this entire time. And just saying, this is what we're going to do. So even though his company grew and flourished, Ben never lost sight of his small business mentality. He was quoted as saying that in large corporations, everyone is treated as a number, but that will never be the case with me. Every one of our employees has hopes and dreams, and I'll do whatever I can to make sure they live the best life possible.
This is pretty, not much has changed.
I feel inspired.
Not much has changed. The standard among most corporations.
Most bosses are the same way these days, I feel like.
Yeah.
So basically, 20, 30 years later, Ben does eventually start investing in concentrate whenever he's basically cornered the market. I mean, he is the fresh fruit guy. So now he basically is running the citrus industry. Jeez. And so in the late 1960s, he is the go-to person internationally when it comes to advice on citrus and so on and so forth.
Goodness. All from one sentence from his dad saying,
that's like his life's motto.
Goodness.
But his success here basically allowed him to venture out into other areas. And so he ended up founding the Highlands County banking system.
Okay.
The Griffin Motor Company.
Okay.
The Griffin Fertilizer Company, and as well as Peace River Ranch, where he raised commercial cattle.
Wow.
Goodness.
And all the while, he's still like this kind of down-home country guy who's just good to people.
Probably a firm handshake, looks you in the eye, nice smile.
Real nice guy.
Really sincere and interested in your story.
Give you some of his personal stash of beef jerky.
Just like you two. So he also ran for a seat in the state legislature, and he won.
Of course.
And
Who's he served against him?
He served for 12 years on the agriculture committees.
Okay.
And so in Tallahassee.
Yep.
And he was also a major donor to the University of Florida, where he went to school for a little bit. So much so that they named their stadium the Ben Hill Griffin Jr. Stadium, which is the largest in Florida, seating 84,000 people.
He probably knew Mr. Gatorade.
He may have knew Mr. Robert Cade.
Probably gave him his oranges.
He may have.
That orange Gatorade.
Ew.
So
I like that one.
Ben passed away in 1990, but his family is still pretty involved in business and politics in the state. And honestly, it's kind of thanks to Ben that Florida is known for citrus. I mean, I think a lot of people, when they think about Florida, it's oranges or orange juice.
Yeah.
But he didn't just
Disney World
orange
and
juice.
citrus.
Right. But he didn't just do well for his company. Like, he did well for citrus in general, because if it wasn't for his tactics, we would have lost everything in the Great Freeze. But Ben salvaged it and was able to submit Florida.
Big shout out to Ben Hill Griffin.
Great guy, great family, and
I like a good positive spirit story.
A great juice.
Great juice.
I've always said that.
I when I go shopping, I look for Ben Hill Griffin
great juice. Great juice
on the shelf.
Well, it's been a good week, and we want to say thank you to everybody who has donated on the website.
Yeah, we had some.
Thank you.
a few donations come in. Yeah.
It means a lot, and it does help the show continue to keep going. So fmofm.com, down on the bottom of the main page, there's a love button and a hate button. If you love the show and you want to donate, please do that. If you hate the show and you want us to stop, please donate.
And Cam, it's not anonymous. We can see you donate.
I give $1 every day to the Please Stop.
Please stop the show.
We can see it's you.
I didn't realize that.
All of our social handles are FMOFM podcast.
We love to see you. We love to hear from you.
Yeah, write in. Keep writing in. Keep sending us your stories. We love you very much.
Subscribe.
Stop driving by and honking
right
at our house. You don't have to do that.
Josh forgets that he has a sticker on the back of his car that says "Honk if you love cowboy butts."
Yeah,
And
I don't forget that.
You know it's there.
I know it's there.
All right, Mr. Hansy, we're gonna go on with our week, but we love you guys. You're a huge blessing to us, and we hope that we encourage you and make you smile a little bit. We'll see you next week.
Bye,
See
babes.
ya.